What's going on, people, and welcome to Man Knows Football. You are here with Guni. Not straight after that diabolical performance that we saw at Vicarage Road. I did take a while before I had to record this because I was absolutely fuming and disgusted with what I saw. And yes, I realised it was a very emotional reaction. But obviously, when you support a team and love a team, you know, as much as we do, you get emotionally invested and you don't always see things objectively, which is why I didn't want to jump on the camera straight away and look like I'm ranting, because that's not really the angle that I'm trying to go down. I ain't trying to shout and rant and just go viral for, you know, just being angry, you get me? I'd rather analyse the game a little bit more objectively, and that's what I decided to do. We stepped away from the game for a bit, step away from the emotions, and then come back and just, you know, really assess what was going on. But before I get into the content, make sure you do like, share, subscribe, and leave your thoughts down there in the comments as well. And let me know what you think of the new surroundings as well, man. Do you like the new setup here at Man Knows Football? And should we continue forward with it? You get me? Let me know down there in the comments as well, man. But Watford versus Chelsea at Vicarage Road, and it did not go the way I thought it would go in the preview. Absolutely not. With the amount of injuries that Watford had, they had injuries to key men. They didn't have Ismail Yassar. They didn't have Ben Foster, amongst others. And they still came out firing. It was mental. We was conceding chances like we played Man City. It was just insane, balls to the wall stuff. Had to grind out that win on a Tony Hawk's thing, bruv. It was absolutely mental. And the thing is, it was from the minute go. It was like from the whistle blew, boom. Because literally 2 minutes and 30 seconds in, Trevor Chalobah is making an open goal clearance already. Marcus Alonso is getting torn up. Yeah, you see that João Pedro? Him and Dennis. Them two man there was frying our defense. It was stress. Mendy was stressed. Our defense was stressed. But this is what I'm saying. Yeah, when you really look at it, obviously, Azpilicueta on that right side, Marcus Alonso on that left side, you've got, the pace is gone. The two haven't really played. They're in their 30s and like getting into like the golden age of their career, so they can't get up and down like that. But Marcus Alonso, boy, defensive wise, listen, because going forward, you could see like, okay, cool. When Marcus Alonso was in the box getting in behind and like in places where he can actually create opportunities for others, yeah, he actually did all right. But defensively, even trying to join in on the build-up playing, it just wasn't working for him. He looked like he just came from La Liga alongside Saul, because the touch was off, the clearance was off, the positioning was off, tackling was off. Everything was off with Marcus Alonso, except when he was in the opposition's final third, where he looked a lot brighter and he was trying to make things happen. But aside from that, boy, look, they was just getting chance after chance down that left side, especially in the first half. There was a stoppage in the game, unfortunately, in the first half. There was a Watford fan who did suffer from a heart attack, and we are grateful to hear that this Watford fan is currently in recovery, and I hope it continues to stay that way. So prayers will be with that Watford fan. You understand? That's what I always say at the end of every video, man. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, whatever time it is, stay safe, because you never know, man. So we pray that that Watford fan is okay. But obviously, the game did carry on. Watford still in control, but Chelsea, really, like, I wouldn't say out of nowhere, but we do get the goal. Mason Mount with a very tidy finish gets in behind. Very cool finish on that right side, beats that goalkeeper 1-0. But we're not out of safety, because Watford, they just come with a vengeance again, attacking down that left side, giving our guys problems. Even when we're on the ball, they're just pressing us like so aggressively and forcing us to make mistakes. The midfield pivot of Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Saul just was not working. But I understand why, because when you think about it, that's the first time that they've ever played together in a professional game. You understand? It's the debut game for the two of them. Neither of them are on their best form. Loftus-Cheek currently isn't on his best form. He wasn't too good at Manchester United. Saul has been dog shit since he's got it. I ain't gonna lie to you. He needs to get his ass back to Atletico Madrid. I've had enough. I think we're coming up to the period where I did say we'll come and revise his performance. Go and check the Saul Niguez Welcome to Chelsea video. I said I'll give him around at the Christmas period time to give him an assessment. The assessment is, get your stuff, go back to Madrid. I ain't even trying the front now, man. Because listen, the best thing that we did was not add the mandatory buy in there. It was an option to buy. Hopefully we can cut that out early. And boy, one of the youngsters, Gallagher, one of them man can step up into his place or something. Obviously not this season, but like when these, you get me? Because Saul, listen, man, again, it was just like a passenger for most of that game. Going forward, one or two contributions, but wasn't really great. At least Marcos Alonso had that on him, but everywhere else on the pitch, he was terrible. We definitely missed Jorginho in terms of like just ball retention and just being smart with possession and just recycling possession a lot smarter and just, yeah, man. Look, it just goes to show. It just goes to show how good that little mind is in that midfield. We missed that little maestro, and hopefully he'll be back for the West Ham game. Look, I was a lot more concerned about Saturday. That wing-back situation, boy, anyway, listen, before I get my mind into that game, let me just stick with this. But Mason Mount with an excellent finish. And then not long later on, obviously, Watford, they're bombing forward with Dennis. Isolates Rudiger on a one-on-one, takes a shot, takes a deflection off Rudiger's leg. Boom, beats Mendy, 1-1. Can I complain that Watford scored? Absolutely not. Was I fuming? Absolutely, because at that point I wasn't too sure whether we was going to get a second goal the way we was playing. If anything, it looked like Watford were going to get that second goal, possibly a third or fourth goal. This is literally on the death of the first half as well. So we're going into the second half, just conceded the goal at the worst time possible. You never want to concede a goal before half time. It's just not the time, man. Changes the game plans, changes the team talk as well. It's a challenge, but Tuchel was proactive, but he had to be because we did suffer a couple of injuries. So once the changes were made, Watford, fair play to them, they were still trying to get something out of the game. But big up Ziyech, who has been getting a lot of criticism from me. But the past two games, the last game I still wasn't too convinced by him, but it was a much better performance than what we'd seen. But today was a good performance and a very, very good finish as well. The cutback that he received from, I believe it was Money Mace, yeah, it was a goal and the assist he got, Mason Mount. Money Mace cuts it back to Ziyech. Ziyech, lovely technique, buries it into the net. 2-1, nothing less than what he deserves because he's had a few goals disallowed as well. And he hasn't been too lucky with the offside flag either. But Ziyech gets his goal, 2-1. But after that, Watford are just piling on the pressure. At this point, look, it's just a bloodbath, them not going forward. We're just lucky at the fact that we didn't concede more than one goal. They was just getting corners. They was just literally giving us no time on the ball. Constant pressure. We weathered the storm, but we just about got away with it. Look, we definitely going into this weekend's game. Reece James needs to be fit. He must be fit. B, this Marcos Alonso solution is not a solution for much longer. If he continues to play like this, we're going to get murdered on that left side if we continue with him in the way he's playing. Saul, listen, I don't know. Well, I know what needs to happen with him. I'm going to cut my losses with him and just say he needs to go back to Madrid, honestly. This injury situation at Chelsea that's building up is not a good sign. Is it this high-intensity football, this quote-unquote Geigen-pressing? Is this taking its toll out on the lads' bodies? Because, yeah, we're going to need... Clearly, in the next transfer windows, we're going to need to address our squad depth because having these players to step into games like this against Watford, thank goodness it weren't a top 16 because I'm pretty sure we would not have come away with 3 points. It would have been an embarrassment. We've got to do a lot better than this. Yes, there are games in the Premier League that are like this, and quite a few people will say the December period, with the amount of football that there is, it becomes a very, very difficult period to play football. Results are grinded out, and some will argue champions do grind out results, but I am very concerned at the fact that it is Watford. And yes, I do understand that the wing-back play at Chelsea Football Club is key to this system. Reece James and Ben Chilwell add so much. They bring so much more dimension into this squad, whether it's cutting inside, whether it's working on the outside, and even their wingers ahead of them. You know, they know that they're getting the support that they need so they can focus on their attacking job. But without them, we looked absolutely lost, and I hope we can get at least one of them back. We've got to do something about that protection on the left, on that left side for Marcus Alonso, because against bigger and better teams they will be clinical and they will definitely put us to the sword. But today we definitely got away with it. Watford, they have got a lot to be proud of, but in particular, obviously, Dennis, in my opinion, had a great game. I think João Pedro had a very good game, especially in the first half as well. They can all come away with their heads held high. Obviously, they got the result they wanted against Manchester United. They tried it against us. They didn't get it. The important thing is that we got 3 points. Both Liverpool and Manchester City did get 3 points today, so it was very, very important. We did get it, and this weekend we've got to get 3 points by any means necessary. Yes, I know we're hit by injuries, but we've got to make it happen. We've got to deal with it like the rest of the other top teams are. Other teams get injuries. Chelsea are no different. We've just got to deal with it. And this is where Tuchel's management comes into it. Much better from him today. Whether he was forced to make those changes because of the injuries, I'm not too sure. Or whether it was a thing where he could clearly see. Because listen, Tuchel in the first half, I'm not going to blame him. Listen, I ain't going to blame him for his team selection or for what I saw today on the pitch, because that was 1000% down to the players. From I saw the touch, a basic touch going just astray, clearances just going astray, passes going straight to Watford, Watford just pressing and just winning the ball in our midfield and our non-existent midfield. I couldn't blame the manager at all, because it came down to the players and they let themselves, a few of them let themselves down today. Players that didn't, definitely Mason Mount. I thought he had an excellent game. I thought he led well. He stood up when we needed him to stand up at a young age. That's why I love Mace, man. He led the team today, well, definitely with his goal, and then he got the assist for Ziyech as well. So excellent contribution in a very difficult game today, which shouldn't have really been. I thought Pulisic was nice and bright as well. I'm liking the fact that Pulisic is not getting injured, because this was a physical game as well. He was getting kicked and pushed around a lot, and he still came off the field without an injury. Hopefully he'll be fit enough to start against West Ham. He's starting to listen, man. The more each week I'm starting to see Pulisic, the more happy and excited I'm starting to get with him, because you can definitely see there's definitely different gears to come from him. He won us so many fouls, and he was just a target for all, because they knew what he could do. But Pulisic, he had a very good game in my opinion. Kai Havertz, I thought he done all right as well. Obviously didn't get his goal. He had a disallowed goal that was offside. I think it was Pulisic that fed him the ball, but Pulisic really should have had the thought of mind, or whoever it was that played in the past, to see that he was kind of offside. Mendy had to make a lot of saves, so big up Mendy. The distribution at times wasn't great, but there was one in the first half under pressure. I thought he dealt with it very well. He was one of the forwards pressed him very tightly, had to get himself out of trouble, used his left foot, plays it directly to the player. I thought that was a wonderful bit of play. So big up Edouard Mendy, definitely kept us in the game. But we got away with that one, lads, and I'd like to know your thoughts down there in the comments. I am exhausted. It is very late. It's coming up to midnight at the minute. So yeah, I'm going to wrap it up there. Thank you very much for watching, and hopefully we're going to see a lot better against West Ham. Hopefully we'll see a different lineup against West Ham. Definitely need to see Reece James back in that squad. Definitely don't want to be seeing Saul back in that squad. Hopefully JORGINHO will be fit enough to play this weekend. I mean, he was fit enough to be on the bench. So that is a good sign. I just hope he can start this weekend, because boy, do we need all the best players that we can get. But yeah, man, thank you very much for watching. Like, share, subscribe, leave your thoughts down there. And until next time, people, bless.